Yeah, police say that this man kidnapped a passenger when he rerouted a ride, but that's not all.
Aha, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Experience. We have another great edition for y'all. Episode 272. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Terry Warfield with us tonight. What's going on, brother?
Man, not much. Thankful to be here.
Come on, man.
We've been trying to make this happen for what?
You know what? But you know what? God is good, man. And I appreciate you, man. Now, I had the honor of interviewing Terry at Futureland and whatnot. And I said we had to have him on the Pull-Up Experience. Because he was kicking knowledge in that little 15-minute interview. I'm like, what can we do with a full hour?
Wow. That's humbling.
No, absolutely.
That's humbling.
And I love your perspective. I love your point of view. And I love how you break down things that are digestible. I think I was in church, the pastor said somewhere. He said the job of any good teacher is to bring the metaphor or what you're trying to say to somebody, break it down, like, because cookies down to the shelf so a person can get to it. And then you have a unique ability to do that.
I'll accept that. I'm trying to get better with compliments, man. Usually when people give me a compliment, I'll be like, man, whatever. But I'm trying to work on it, so I appreciate that, man. Greatly. I appreciate that.
And y'all know we got Steve here, man.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
We got Steve said, I'll come from behind the camera. I'll be in front of the camera today. So you know it's going to be a good one, y'all. So yeah, man. So listen, I think like any other any episode, we like to talk about the journey, man. And you said something on camera I thought was interesting about, you know what I'm saying, where all began. So where would you say it all began for you, man?
Man, I would honestly say being a teenager. I started off doing probably everything everybody else did. I mean, door-to-door sales. Mm-hmm. I don't know how old you are, but I'm
38.
All right, I'm 39.
Okay.
So you remember like prepaid legal, Tahitian Oni, all the all the multi-level marketing schemes. Did all those. Did all types of door-to-door sales. Mm-hmm. And during those times, like my family always like, oh man, you selling something else and all that other stuff. But I never let it get to me. And I'm saying that's where I started at because I think I developed that mentality of I won't freaking give up no matter what. When I was young, and I actually thank my family for it because all of those times when it was like, oh man, you got something else you selling or you trying to rap now, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, it always gave me fuel to keep going. So I would say the journey started there. Now, if you talk about like YouTube and being a creator, like 9 or 10 years ago, I actually started off doing weightlifting, bodybuilding. And at the time, I was like in all the circles, man. I was with the you know, one of my best friends. His name is Bounty Tank. I was with him, Mike Rashid, CT Fletcher, all of them, right? But I just wasn't, and this is no shade to anybody, bro, but I just wasn't willing to do the things that it took, and I'm not going to say it on camera, that it takes to be competitive in the bodybuilding and fitness world because you got to look a certain way. And, you know, your peers might see you that you work out all the time. They be like, oh, bro, Terry, you huge, but not till you get around them guys. You know what I'm saying? And I knew for me to be any type of successful, I had to do things to get me from here to there, and I just wasn't willing to.
Yeah.
So it was one day I had always had like an affinity for cameras, technology, and I had just bought a Galaxy Note 7. I remember it like Galaxy Note 8. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was sitting at the back room in the house, right? And I had a camera because I had always done photography and video and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to make a tech review, okay? And I went on there talking crazy. I mean, F-bombs, this, that, and the third. And the first video I made, now mind you, I'm on YouTube doing fitness videos and everything up to this point, barely making no money, not getting no traction, anything like that. The first video I made on YouTube, Samsung hit me up. I remember I was working at Chase Bank. I got an email from Samsung. and they said, "Hey Terry, this video we want to license these 13 seconds, and we're gonna pay you $5,000." And I was like, "Whoa!" Now, mind you, I didn't have
13
any.
seconds though.
13 seconds, right? And all I said was, "This phone is sexy." That's it. Now, mind you, in the 3 years I was doing fitness or online coaching, personal training, I had made $5,000 cumulatively. You know the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah.
Okay. When they hit me up and said, I'm like, man, this can't be real. It ended up being real. They paid me $5,000 just to use that snippet in one of their campaigns saying this phone was sexy. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a fluke. Maybe I got lucky, right? So I ran it back. I did another video on the Galaxy S10. I'm sorry, S9. Did the same thing. Sat in the back room, talked all the trash, F-bombs, this, they hit me back up again.
Wow.
And we're like, yo, we want to license this part for another $5,000. So I'm like, whoa, in the span of this couple months, while I'm sitting at work and I'm going home and I'm making these silly tech videos I'm putting no effort into,
Right.
I made $10,000. I said, maybe I'm doing something wrong, right? So at that point, I was like, you know what? Clearly the fitness thing ain't working for me, and maybe it's because I didn't have what it took. Maybe it's because I didn't work as hard enough as I told everybody I did. Because, online, I was like, I'm doing this and that, and, going to sit on my hands at the house, So maybe it was that. Maybe it just wasn't for me. Maybe it wasn't in God's plan. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to take this YouTube thing serious. So I started making videos, and slowly but surely, I remember sitting at work, and I was just getting, more pissed off every day. Like, my boss, why are you talking to me like that? Why am I asking you to go to the bathroom? Why am I asking you, can I go eat lunch? Like, it didn't make, and I have nothing against people who choose a 9 to 5.
Right.
It just didn't sit well in my heart,
Right.
right? So, eventually I'm doing videos, I'm making these tech videos and stuff like that, and I just didn't feel fulfilled at the time. People was arguing over ringtones, and, you go in the comment section, and iPhone is this, and Android is this, and UK my A, and all of them things. And I'm like, what is the one thing that I never lost my passion for? And it was cameras. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of video. I'm sick of the cell phone nonsense and BS. So I just started making little cinematic videos. But I started off doing life experiences. So I actually used it as a creative tool to express myself at the beginning. I would make videos I had just watched one the other day about my father's death, how I never dealt with it. So that's where it all started, okay? That was 4 to 5 years ago when I pivoted my channel. And really early in the game when I had pivoted to the camera space, I don't know if y'all know who Casey Neistat is. Ever heard of him? Okay. You know who he is? All right. No. Anyway, well, I won't waste your time. He's a huge celebrity dude in the camera world. He's been on TV, movie shows, all this stuff. Send me this random message on Twitter like, yo, Terry, I'm having this Thanksgiving creator gathering in New York. I want you to be there. And I'm like, what? Now, mind you, I won't say grew up watching him, but he kind of paved the way for vloggers and all of that stuff. And that's where it all really started. So ever since then, it was just being relentless, not giving up. Sometimes sucks. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't believe in myself. But I think at the end of the day, I know that is something in this for me, and it's something in it for the people who watch me. So, here we are. It's taken me 4 years now. I remember sitting at Chase like, man, I can't keep doing this 9 to 5 stuff. It's driving me crazy. And I said, I'm gonna do this full time. 4 years later, I'm doing it full time. And not only am I just surviving, God is good. He's, providing abundance.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to travel the world and see things that I never thought I would be able to see, ever. You know what I'm saying? I've been to, and I'm not saying this to showboat for anybody else. I'm just I'm hyped that I get to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to Iceland, Japan 2 times.
I didn't know black people even do Iceland,
bro.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bro, and it was the most I'm not even playing. Iceland was the most beautiful experience I've ever had.
Wow.
I've never felt closer to God.
Wow.
A lot of people go to Jerusalem and etc.
Yeah.
Right? I've never felt closer to God than in Iceland. And the reason behind it is because it's just what God provided. It's just the earth. It's just the oceans and the dangerous climate and the wind. And man, I remember they have black beaches in Iceland. I'm on this black beach, like literally just crying, like thank you God for where I am in life. I'm going to Norway next month, Italy 2 weeks after that. Like it's incredible what God has allowed me to have or experience just from YouTube.
Come on, man.
It is really, really, really incredible.
So you say basically a camera took you around the world.
Yeah.
So what was your first camera that you got to experience before your first purchase of a camera?
My stepmother's camera. She used to have this old My Notes of film camera. And I remember every time she leaves, she like, don't touch my camera. I'm not going to touch it. As soon as she left, yeah, let me get that. The first camera that I ever bought was a Sony A57. I'm not going to get all nerdy, but it was like my first real camera. And I just started taking pictures and stuff. And then people were like, yo, those pictures are dope. Can you come shoot this for me? And I'm like, okay. And they was like, I'll pay you. And I'm like, are you sure about that? And that turned into, so I actually left Chase for the first time because at the time I had started a camera company called Clear Vision Films. It's my media company now. So through I run YouTube and all that stuff through. And I remember making like a ton of money in like 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, I'm sitting at Chase, the one down on 105 in St. Clair that they closed.
Yeah,
Glenville Plaza, right?
I remember.
I'm sitting down there and this lady came in and got to yelling and screaming. I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. so I quit, right? I quit thinking that, and this is what I don't want people to do. I'm going to bring this around full circle. I quit because things looked good right there. 3 months later, when the slow season came, and people stopped needing photo shoots and etc., I lost everything. My car got evicted, all the money, sleeping on people's couches, all of that stuff, all because I quit without a plan in place.
Come on now.
I quit without being prepared. I quit without thinking forward, and I wasn't even in a financial position to think that I could make this work. I had no savings money. I had nothing but a paycheck from Chase. And I went from a paycheck to thinking I could, with no business savviness, no management skills, no money. I had no clue how to understand money or how to manage money. I had no clue about interest rates, credit cards, none of that stuff. And I did. I don't regret doing it.
Yeah. Because
I feel like sometimes you got to go through those, like, those situations to, and in hindsight, I realized it was God. I didn't tell you to do that yet.
Yeah.
And I paid for it. Well, I gained from it, I'll say. But yeah, I don't even remember what the question was. I don't even know how we got there. Oh, you asked me what my first camera was.
Yeah.
I talk too much.
No, you good. Hey, you brought it like you said, full circle.
I love how you said in that moment everything was good. I don't know how many times often we get that one paycheck. Anytime $100 over my bank account, I'm like, I'm doing it, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. But I love how you said none of us have the foresight to see the, you know what I'm saying? We have the vision, we might be getting the moment, but you gotta have a plan.
Gotta have a plan.
That's good right there.
And if you don't, it'll whip you into shape to the point where you like, all right, I can't do that again without a plan. Because the next time I did it, I was like, you know what? This time when I went full time, I was starting to like calculate, all right, how much money do I need to make ends meet? Like bare minimum. And I'm like, all right, I'm making like $3,000 a month on YouTube and brand deals and stuff like that. And I'm like, I only need like $3,900 at the time, right? So I'm like, well, I know if I'm at least making that, if I have all of this extra time from not going to work to a 9 to 5 every day, imagine what I could do with that extra time. And I had some money saved up. The point is, I was way more prepared. Even if I wasn't as prepared as I should have been, I was still way more prepared than I was the first time. I at least gave myself a fighting chance the second time. And it ended up working out.
That's good. So I got a question, because once again, bro, I think you're a phenomenal content creator, right?
Wow. Thank you.
Like I said, because I watched one video where you have broke down about how just putting the emphasis on what it takes to be a content creator. What lessons will you say that you learned the hard way? Because I love how you said you're hard like me. What lessons you learned the hard way that when you first started out creating content that still not saying hit to this day for you?
I would say 3 things. The first is you have to believe in yourself. And that sounds so cliche because it's the easiest thing for somebody to say is believe in yourself. But like I firmly believe if you believe, like, not just telling your homeboys or homegirls, yeah, I'm about to do this. If you firmly believe something in your heart, like, no matter what anybody says, no matter what the hurdles look like, no matter what the obstructions look like, I still believe that I could do it. I believe you could do anything you want to.
Come on now.
So I think the first thing is you got to believe in yourself. And I'm saying that because if you don't believe in yourself, you won't get anywhere. You won't. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you want to be a creator, you cannot care about what people think. People's opinions will stop you from your own success.
One more time.
I'm sorry, I got that.
People's opinion, no, real talk. People's opinions will stop you from your own success, and that, I mean, obviously that's 1 + 1 = 2 type information, right? But when you relate it to being a content creator, meaning I'm doing this by myself, and I might have had a long day, right? And not many people gonna walk up to you on the street and say something negative or nasty to you, but people online know.
I was on the story.
People online, I have gotten some of the most hateful things said to me online. Because people know that they can't get to you. And the reason I'm saying is you can't care is because if you sit there and you allow all of these opinions of people who you're never going to see again, who don't pay your bills, like, if you allow their opinions to dictate the way you move, you're going to fail. Because all of those online haters, what they want to see you do is fail. So if you allow them to do that to you, you will fail.
Get it to you, Steve. Don't you get it.
And then the third thing is you have to have determination. I know you asked me before we got started, like, what do you think was the catalyst to make you make it? I mean, I don't think I made it, but to get to this point is not giving up. And again, that's something that seems so simple, like 1 + 1 = 2. But do you know how many times I have looked myself in the mirror like I don't want to do this? You know how many times I have looked at my peers and watching them in they $1 million houses with they $300,000-$400,000 cars, like, I can never do that. And you know, those thoughts are cyclical. They keep going. But at the end of the day, there is no magic trick to it.
Yeah.
The only way I got to where I am now is by believing in myself, by not giving up, and by not caring what people think. Because if I didn't do any one of those 3, I wouldn't be sitting here. The most important thing is not giving up.
Yeah.
And being consistent. Because especially in the world we live in, we have this, like, because of TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that. We want everything right now.
Yeah.
We need it right now. I want to go viral right now. And you just, like, people think that's how it is, but it's really not. When you see the success story, you are seeing 9 times out of 10 just the top of the iceberg of a delta of hard work, determination, failure, all of that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so it's easy to look at somebody like, oh man, no, it took so much hard work to get here, bro. So much hard work. And I don't even consider me anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
My bad, Steve.
I'll say I definitely would because, I'm a content creator myself. I'm in a realm of other content creators and artists. So, I definitely give you flowers.
Thank you, man.
So, like you said, people on a higher level, like an elevator, they get shut down, but you're going up the stairs. You like at the midway high point.
I do that on that one. I might have to steal that from you.
Like at that midway high point where, other creators, down here, you got up here. So you like, what I mean? You're in that high percentile. So definitely kudos to you.
I'll take it. I'm working on accepting,
same.
Thank you.
Like, thank you. But it's like, sometimes, like you said, you don't know how to take it, but it's just, I take that versus a negative thing.
True.
I see one of your videos, man. It was one of the videos you talk about. You was talking about what camera is the best camera or make content with. You said the one you got right now, the one you're using. And I was like, I've never heard a content creator say they always trying to pitch you to get, their affiliate, they like, get this camera right here.
Yeah.
Not I'm basically like selling you on something. You was like, the one you have right now is the best one right now. I said, I like this brother right here. I like that.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest. I don't care if you buy something from my links or not. I could care less. I mean, sure, if you buy it, I'll get paid for it. But if you don't, I don't care. I would rather all right, let me say this. I love camera gear.
Yeah.
So nothing makes me happier than opening up a new lens or a new camera, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that when you have the abundance of money to do it, and you do it without the expectation that I'm going to buy this new thing and it's going to make me better. That's what a trap is. That's what a trap is. If you just want to buy it because you like cameras and you got the money, do it. But if you don't have the core skills, you don't know how to talk to a camera, you don't know how to hold somebody's audience, you don't know how to tell a story, none of that matters. If I give you any tool, I could give you the fastest car in America. If you don't know how to drive, it's useless. You know what I'm saying? So when people ask me, what camera should you buy? You have no camera experience. You have no clue what an exposure triangle is. You have no clue how to use lighting or telling a story or a microphone. Which is most people. I tell them, use your phone, because let's keep it a buck. The only people that care about how good something looks is us snobs in the camera space. I care about it because I love cameras.
True, yeah.
Right? You care about it because you love, she care about it because she loves cameras. People who are not in the camera space do not care about how good it looks. Think about the videos that you see that go the most viral, that have the most traction. They are filmed from the phone.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I say use the phone because it's got everything you need. Before, you needed a computer, you needed a camera, you needed a microphone. You got everything that you need for a video right there in your hand. So when people come telling me I don't got the right camera, I'm not trying to hear none of that. Because you got channels out there like Mr. Beast. Y'all know who he is. Okay, he got his first 6 million subscribers from a phone. From a phone. Yeah. So again, it's if you just like cameras and you want it and you got the money, fine. But do you need it to start making content? Absolutely not. And if you are saying I need a camera and I can't create content, you're making excuses for yourself. Period. You are.
Wow. So just to clarify, say cameras are not important. It's beneficial, but it's not important.
Yeah.
So what is more important, audio or video?
Audio. People, glad you asked that. So when people ask me these questions, I always say, pay attention to your own habits. If you sitting on the toilet, let's keep it a bean. You scrolling TikTok, right? And a video comes up, but you can't hear it. What you gonna do? But if a video looks trash, but you can hear it, you are way more inclined to sit there and listen to it.
That's a bar.
So audio, I mean, both of them are equally as important, right? But you can't have one without the other. I would rather somebody have good audio than a clean video and trash audio.
So peanut butter, no jelly, but they both kind of.
Yeah, you need both, but the I would say the most important one, probably audio. Can't hear it, it's useless.
Can you hear me?
We like the hard way.
And that's, when people when I want to start getting a podcast and all that stuff, the first thing I tell them, get your phone, get you some wireless mics. These little wireless mics that we have, I mean, they were unheard of 10 years ago, but now you can get crystal clear audio by going to Best Buy and paying $100 for some Ceramic microphones. And it automatically puts you here versus the person who just started on their phone using the internal mic on their phone.
Right.
It's just a small upgrade that you could get to your content that makes a world of a difference.
That's good. So, when we the Futureland, man, and listen, y'all don't understand. I had a pleasure of editing this content. So I was editing Terry's interview, and I was playing it back like 5 times, right? Wow. And like I said, it's a 15-minute interview, but he dropped so many gems in that. And one of the things you talked about, man, is just the business that goes into content creation. Now, people don't understand. The thing is, create the content, upload it, money coming in, and that's it. You were like, y'all need to structure that joint.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was giving the structure. It's important.
This is why a lot of athletes end up broke.
Break it down.
X, Y, and Z person got a $12 million contract. They never had money before. They finally came into some, I won't even call it wealth. They came into some riches. Wealth is totally different than riches.
That's a bar.
Right? And because they have no financial literacy, they never had money before. Yeah. The first thing they want to do is go blow it all. But then they forgetting that Uncle Sam needs at least 20 to 40% of that, right? And then this is why you see so many cases on TV with these high-profile celebrities in what? Tax trouble, right? So as soon as you start making money, if you don't whether it's YouTube, no matter what the business is, YouTube, if you making money with it, which I make money with, I can stay down. Uncle Sam is coming for that money, right?
On top.
And if you don't structure it the right way, you get hit with self-employment taxes, you get hit with income taxes, and that could be like upwards of 40% depending on your tax bracket, right? And this is stuff I had to learn the hard way. When I first started making money on YouTube, I was doing exactly what I just talked about, spending it. Not paying attention to taxes, because with a paycheck, they take your taxes for you.
On top, yeah.
When you're working for yourself, you are responsible for making sure your taxes get paid. And I ended up with a $20,000 tax bill. IRS was not playing. So I only say this stuff because I don't want to see people make the same mistake.
Yeah.
If you are going to take content creation seriously, people can say whatever they want to say. You know, people who done went to school for 8-12 years with a PhD making $150,000 a year. That little TikToker that's 21 years old making $150K, that money spends the exact same way. And the taxation is the same way. No, I'm serious about that, because the income that you can make online these days, it doesn't feel fair. Just like entertainment doesn't feel fair. And sometimes I'll be like, man, I don't deserve to make this money. You got people out here that's saving lives and fighting fires and in the military that are struggling for benefits. And here's me just making stupid videos online, making 6 figures from it. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel fair. But at the same time, the money is the money.
The money's
right?
the money. But it kind of just show where we place our value at.
Where we place the value at. So I obviously cannot offer tax and financial advice. I'm not an attorney, but let me throw that out there. But anytime, whether it's YouTube or anything, if you are making money, you need to, I pay for an accountant every month because I'm too stupid to understand it. I'd be like, here, bro, here's your fee. What, $250? Take it, bro. Just make sure my bookkeeping, my taxation is cool, so I don't have to worry about it. So whether you want to learn it yourself, or which I do recommend learning it yourself, right? But whether it's learning itself or you're paying somebody to do it for you, make sure it gets done. Because what you don't want to happen is you wait 5 years, you spent all this money, right? And then Uncle Sam like, yo, I got these 1099s and K1s and et cetera. You ain't gave me $1. We got a problem now, which is what I ran into. So I thank the Lord I was able to fix it and get, take care of it. But I just encourage people, don't make the same mistake.
No, for sure, right there. And like I said, I like I said, you said a bar. You was like, the work that goes into creating content, just not taking anything away from 9 to 5, but the same work you put into your 9 to 5, it's kind of the same way you do creating content. Because you got to set it up, you have to lay it out. You have to. Some people make script. I seen one girl. She had the script. She had the layout. She had everything. And it's work.
It is, and you can't devalue it, right? Because you think your work is more valuable when we getting the same money. Can't do that. Like my best friend, shout out my best friend. Like he worked at Lincoln Electric, right? And he will make $120,000 a year or whatever, get his bonus at the end of the year. And then I went to Chase, and I'm making the same money he making, but I'm at a desk taking selfies and drinking coffee and all that. And I remember him he'll call me after a long day, like, bro, you ain't did no work today. I mean, I did do work. I just chose to work with this instead of with what you're doing. Yeah. And just because you chose something that was more difficult, because of that, you can't invalidate what I'm doing when the money's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at somebody who used their brain to leverage money versus somebody who chooses to use their physical self to try to make money. Your brain you can leverage. When you do physical work, your output, your input equals your output. You're only going to get as much as your body can endure. You want that extra overtime, you got to go do that hard labor for it. When you learn about money, then you can start using your brain as leverage, and you can multiply money without having to step foot into a factory.
Tight up, so leverage that brain.
And that's what, my last 10 years of my life have been dedicated to. How do I use the tools that God gave me? We all are dealt a very specific hand. How do I use it? You know, of course, I would have loved to be a 6'5", 255, running back, but I wasn't that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do I use these tools that I have to work as smart as possible and make a living? Which is, and every day I wake up, and I've been struggling with it lately. I ain't gonna lie. All right, I've been doing a whole lot of doom scrolling on TikTok and all this other stuff. But I'm like, if I got time, I actually said this on Instagram the other day. If I got time to sit there and look at TikTok all day and people slapping each other and gym girls and all that other stuff, then I got time to go enrich this.
Come on now.
I got time to go figure out how do the stock market work? How does leverage work? How does taxation? I got time to do this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking time off and, doing what you want in your free time. But I put a limit on when I'm allowed to do that doom scroll. Before 8 o'clock, and it's crazy because I'm a media influencer, right? So I'm always on social networks. But what would happen is I would fall into a trap. I'll go make a cup of coffee, like, oh man, I got to get to these emails, right, or whatever. Sit down, I pull out my phone, open up TikTok, and boom, they go out, right? And that's not good for me during my workday where I'm supposed to be enriching my brain and making money. So I've put a limit on myself. 8 o'clock is when you could go doom scroll. Until then, if you catch yourself, I have to kind of like, man, put that down and go get you some money or go figure out how to make some more money.
Come on now.
Easier said than done. I'm working on it.
Feel you. So how do you keep yourself creative with fresh ideas?
A lot of times I let it come to me, but when the money you make depends on your creativity, I have to go looking for it, which is not. It's not always the easiest thing, right?
Come on, I gotta hit that one. Because once again, I've never heard anybody say that. By the way, okay, it just came to me or whatnot. You're like, I gotta look for it. Yeah, that's refreshing to hear.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have it. So I like, all right. Again, thank the Lord that I have spare time, right? So today, unless I have deadlines from a brand, if I don't feel it, then I'll just be like, you know what? I'm cool with not doing nothing today. And those days are just as important as the days where you are working because I need those days.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, like sometimes you got to take a break for stuff to come to you. Sometimes, how do I get that creativity back if I don't have it? The gym. Literally just dropped a video on that like 3 days ago. The gym is a huge tool that I use because you don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. It's hard. And you don't see immediate change. But it's something about intentionally putting yourself through that just unlocks something. Yeah. If I could do that in the start of the morning and it was hard, it sucked, I didn't want to do it, it hurt. Oh, if I could do that, everything else is a walk in the park, right? So I use the gym, sometimes music. If I can't find anything, I'll just, I got a subscription service to a couple different, music services, right? And I'll just go in there and let music play.
What's your top 3?
Artlist, little plug. shout out my sponsor, Artlist. Artlist, Epidemic Sound, and Audio, right? But sometimes I just go in there, let the music play, and then, sometimes you're like, oh, that was fire. And now I got these, oh man, I can, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's that, and sometimes, and I'm gonna do that before I even say it. There's nothing wrong with going to get inspiration from other places.
Come on now.
Right? I'm not saying go be a copycat.
Right.
But, you might go online, let's just say it's a photography video I want to do, and nothing's coming to me, bro. I can't figure nothing out. No sauce is coming. I'll go on YouTube. And I'll just type in photography tips or something like that. And sometimes, those things will inspire you to, even if it's talking about the same subject matter, to just go make your own version of it. Because when you build any type of following, whether it's 100 people or 1 million people, those people want to hear from you. They followed you because they want to hear from you. It don't matter if Thomas said it over there. They want to hear from you. So sometimes it's what's the not recreating the wheel. So
I hope y'all taking notes because Terry is dropping bombs, man.
Listen, I'm just speaking from experience.
I'm being so serious because you're right. People want to hear your perspective. They want your take on it. All.
Even if a lot of times, even if it's stuff they already know. Yeah. They just want to hear from you. They just want you, person that they quote unquote look up to validate how they feel.
That's good.
It is. Think about your own habits, bro. When you go buy something, what's the first thing you do? You go on YouTube to watch your favorite content creator talk about it. Why? Because their opinion on it is important, and it makes you feel like your purchase is validated or invalidated for that matter, right? So a lot of times it's just your favorite creators just feed you stuff you already know.
That is so good, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I deal with when I create content. Do I want to do what everyone else do? I want to do something different. But I'm like, you just free me. Mm-hmm. So now, like, you're right. Maybe people just want to see my perspective on all.
And you know, the other thing is like, it's very, very rare that there's something called an original idea. We live in an age of millions of people literally watching each other all day. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that a purely like uncultivated original idea happens.
Right.
Usually people's from something else that they saw or they saw somebody else do. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I want to do that myself. I could do it this way at X, Y, and Z. So there's nothing wrong with going to find inspiration. Just like, you know, when you remember we was in school, you had to write them essays. Yeah, you can go look at the content, just don't plagiarize. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. So I got a question, man. Yo. Let's talk about structuring those brand deals, because how does a creator or creative make sure they're not getting played when it comes to when a brand reaches out to them? Because maybe a lot of them don't understand the value. A lot of them don't. Maybe they may understand that value.
You just said it. All right. If you have any type of platform, whether it's 500 followers or 5 million, we live in the age of influencer marketing. If somebody wants something from you, meaning your likeness, your image, if they wanted a pair of shoes from you, you would make them pay for it, right?
Right.
So why is it that they get the likeness and image for free? They want something from you that they can't get anywhere else. They cannot get another you because you're the only one.
Right.
So because of that, the first mistake that creators make is thinking that, and the way brands try to like dress it up is, like we chose you. Or, for example, an email you might that we are so excited to work with you. We looked at you. They send it out to everybody. They send it out to everybody.
I felt so Terry, man.
Send it because they have a budget that they have to get an X amount of views for, right? And they're trying to get that for as cheap as possible.
Wow.
So when X, Y, and Z brand reaches out to you and say, we have a new product we want to promote, and we're willing to give you $200 for it, they're trying to get you for as cheap as they could get you. It's business, just like any other business. So how do you figure out what your value is? That's the next problem, because there's like this secrecy, which is why I'm so transparent on all of my platforms. I just made a video on how much money I made last year in every single source it came from, because I want people to know what's possible, not because I want to brag or want somebody to be jealous. No, this is what I was able to do last year. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that I've found that I can figure out, okay, how much am I, like, what's my value? How much should I be charging this community? Right? And a lot of people don't want to talk about it. Yeah. But find the people who are willing to talk about it is huge. Because let's just say y'all are both creators. Y'all are both contacted by Apple. And Apple tells you they're willing to pay $5,000. They tell you they're willing to pay $10,000. If y'all not talking about it, which one, like, how do y'all know which one y'all should, you know what I'm saying? So you need to find community of people that are, talking about it. And again, not everybody's willing, but also you got to be comfortable with how much money am I comfortable with making off of this? Yeah. And if that number's $200, take the $200. But as a rule of thumb, and this is business in general, whatever you feel like your value is, ask for more. When a brand hits me up like, yo, we got 2,000, I'm like, yeah, that's 5,000. They might not pay me. But guess what? What you're not about to do is lowball me. I'm going to at least give myself an opportunity to be talked down off the ledge. versus never making it to the list.
That's a bar.
So, and this is just like general business stuff, right?
Right.
When whatever your value is, double it. And you let them talk you down versus you just coming in with a low ball. Because if you automatically said my value is 200, but they were willing to give 1,000, you would never know because you just said 200, right? And that goes out the double rule I just said. I was just trying to give you a way to equate it. But ask for more and find community of people who are willing to share. And this is something I learned very, very early. Two guys I met online are two of my best friends to this day. I actually met them in a mastermind group. So find mastermind groups, right? Mastermind groups are people, like-minded people who are doing the same thing, who share the same goals and the same common knowledge, right? Find mastermind groups. Found one of them early, and it was a super toxic one. And I said, this ain't the group for me, but those two guys right there, they seem solid. And we just formed our own one. And because we did that so early, we were able to see like, yo, I asked them for 10,000, they shot it down and only paid 1,000, right? Or I asked them for 50, they paid 50. You know, and because of that community, and when I say community, I'm not saying it needs to be a large group of people. You just need to find people that you can share this stuff with.
That's good. That's real good. Whew. I hope y'all taking notes, man, because like as Terry said, I'm like, yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When first time someone offered me some money, I'm like $50. Oh, bet that's $50 more. $50 more. I'm already doing it. Is additional money, right?
But you know why you took it? Because of ignorance. I don't say ignorance in a bad way. People use ignorance in the wrong context. It's ignorance. Nobody ever told you that you should be asking for more money. Yeah. It's the same thing with our race in financial literacy. The first time we get some money, what we want to do? Buy rims, buy jewelry, do this, that, and the third. End up in credit card debt. Why? Because nobody told us the right way to do it. And unfortunately, a lot of times we have to fail at it to finally figure it out, right? So it's the same principle as that. Nobody ever told you. So the brands actually prey on that, right? I always make this analogy to the rap game, right? You got this new rapper who comes along, got him a little hit, never had exposure, nothing like that. This management company comes along and say, yo, I got 100,000 for you, right? You get this advance right now, but you don't know about the rights. You don't know about none of that stuff. What they did was took advantage of how excited you were in the moment. And you can't allow. Oh, was that Siri talking to me or somebody outside? Oh, what you can't allow companies to do or people to do for that matter is take advantage of your eagerness to get an opportunity, right? Your eagerness can walk you through some doors you shouldn't be in. Yeah. So
has it always been like inbound, or have you ever reached out to different brands
yeah, I have. I work with a management company now who goes to get my deals. They negotiate them for me. I pay them 15% in return, so I don't have to do it anymore. And there's a ton of them out there. That's not something exclusive. You can go find an agent or manager anywhere, right? You just got to find somebody that's good at negotiating, has been in digital space, and is willing to do it for you.
Ooh, we need one of those.
But it's got to be worth it for you. Yeah. Because if it's something you can do yourself, why are you paying it 15%? Mine was getting to the point where I couldn't manage it anymore. And I got tired of going back and forth with brands. And I'm like, you know what? Because a certain respect is given when there's a middleman. It's just like when you're talking to an attorney, right? Or you go to court. If you go represent yourself, they're going to walk all over you. But let you have a defender or a DA or somebody representing you, the conversation is different, right? So for me, it's worth the 15% for me to not have to worry about it. But before I did that, a lot of it was, inbound, but I did do outreach sometimes. And I'll say, hey, I got this idea for this video I want to make. I see you just dropped a new camera, drone, whatever. This is the budget I typically, this is the fee I typically charge for dedicated video. But I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z because I reached out to you and I want to make this work. So it's a combination of both. And here's the thing. When you build something like an audience, you don't have to worry about going to get it. They'll come to you.
Ooh. Powerful.
I cannot stress this enough, man. When you build a following, these companies are realizing that it's way more valuable to get access. Let's say you in the shoes, right? You got 10,000 people who follow you. These 10,000 people are into what? Shoes. They followed you because they're in the shoes. So from a company perspective, let's just Adidas. Let's use Adidas. We could go spend $500,000 on a commercial that might convert 0.00001 into sales. Or we can find this influencer who has a dedicated audience of 10,000 people, which means straight access to 10,000 potential customers. How do we know they're potential customers? Because they followed him because he does shoes.
Oh, that's good.
So it makes more sense for them to come say, all right, well, we got $5,000 for you to make this video. And they know that they're going to get sales. Even if they don't get sales, they're at least getting dedicated brand recognition that will lead to sales in the future. Influencer marketing is the way of the world moving forward. We are, I mean, you rarely see commercials on TV. I mean, who watches TV? But yeah, you know, there are commercials, but these companies are looking at influencers with dedicated audiences to sell stuff to, because it's way easier to sell to this group of people who I know are interested in shoes versus a whole auditorium just full of randoms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's intentional marketing.
Yeah. It is direct marketing, direct influencer marketing.
Bro, I hope y'all taking notes because he just gave master class. Just
I don't know about all that.
No, brother. No, you got don't see Terry. We have listen, so Coach Terry, I'm sorry calling you. He just gave a whole master class because I know I'm gonna be transparent. Kid, the Pull experience, we've been trying to get blocking those brand deals and whatnot, and I promise you just light bulb went off my head. Yeah. So thank you for that, brother.
Yeah, I would say just focus on community first.
Yeah.
Once you have community, the brands will find. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with outreach, but once you have community, they can't ignore you. They can't ignore you.
That's powerful. When we talk about shoes and brand deals, it reminds me of LeBron James when he was approached by Reebok for, a couple $1,000, and then he said no in high school. So I think it's important that we don't jump to that first number. And now he got lifetime, residual income from Nike, which is powerful. Is it ever a case that you feel like, no, I don't want this because I deserve more?
It's power in the word no all the time. I say no all the time. There's power in the word no. Especially the companies when they try to. There's power in the word no, period. Even in your personal lives. There's power in the word no. I'm going to protect my energy, my time. So, no, I love you, but no. And a lot of us have a problem saying no to people. Like, okay, no, bro, like, no. And it's the same thing with brands. I turn down a lot of deals because it just doesn't align with what I want to do. Yeah. Whether it's a product I don't want to do, whether it's a brand I don't want to work with, maybe the budget was too low, no. We, obviously I don't just jump to no, but, if they not talking the figure I want, the number I want, the exclusivity I want, the rights I want, then unfortunately, no, this is not the opportunity. We'd love to explore more possibilities in the future, but we're gonna have to say no to this one. So,
yeah, that's powerful because it's powerful. It's power in the word no. Yeah. And what I learned is, if you're saying yes to something right now, you're saying no to something, that could be your potential thing or your target.
I think it's even more important to say no when you don't understand your value.
But how do you know if you don't understand your value?
We just talked about all those. And if you don't understand your value, you need to go try to find what your value is. And until you know what that value is, there's power in the word no.
I was trying to tell her, I taught episode.
Yeah. So if you don't know what your value is, you need to go find out what's my value. And if it's too low, then how can I increase my value?
Increase your value.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you saying yes when you don't know your value will lead you to getting taken advantage of. Especially if they can get you for cheap, they will never offer you more because you already devalued yourself. Definitely. You already devalued yourself. Why would I pay you $2,000 now when I just paid you $200? And you ain't giving me anything different than you gave me the first time. Why would I pay you different? So if you aren't comfortable with your value, say no until you are comfortable with your value, or you're going to get taken advantage of.
So let me ask you this, brother, because we talked about this off camera, but and I once again I love your transparency, by the way, man. If nothing else, brother, you are transparent, and I love that about you. We talked about motivation, man. Yeah. Staying motivated, and people understand as a creative, sometimes it's natural, sometimes it doesn't come natural. What keeps you motivated, man?
I had that moment last night, and I shared it. Not because I want to pity. Not because I want to say, oh, no, Terry. No, it's because in that moment, I wanted to express what it felt like to be somebody with this platform or audience, right? That's having these real feelings right now. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't want to continue. This is all worthless, X, Y, and Z. They're doing it better than me and all that other stuff. And I always be transparent about it. I pray about it. And every time I pray about it, I just get this, it wakes me back up. Because everything that I have could be taken away. Come on now. Just as God given, he could take it away from you, you know? So anytime I'm feeling like I'm inadequate or anything like that, I pray about it. And I mean, I ain't gonna get all scripture-y, but you send it up there and it's being handled for you, right? And every time I pray for a humble heart to not let any fame, success, money ever change my heart. That's number one. Yeah. But number two, remind me of how blessed I am. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And remind me that everything that I have is a gift and a blessing. And you didn't have to have it. And there are so many people who would die to be in your position. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. Remember I told you before the camera turned on, sometimes I will intentionally go make myself drive to the hood. Or I'll go drive downtown just so I can see these people that are outside, not fortunate, can't eat, can't drink, same dirty clothes they had on yesterday, freezing cold, nowhere to go. And I obviously help them, right? And that's the other thing. It's like, and I don't want to make this all like holy and scripture, right? But the word says to go help the less fortunate. Yeah. Okay. And then when you do that, and you don't do it with the expectation that, yo, I did it because I want something over here. But we know what the word says. Yeah. The word says you go take care of that. The less fortunate, I'll take care of you. And it happens every time. And then the last thing is my kids. Every time I get down on myself, I realize I got little people watching me. Yeah. I got little people that depend on me. I got little people that think I am their superhero, that I'm the strongest person in the world. And if I quit, what you think they gonna do? Yeah. I can't quit. So, like, the answer is, how do you stay motivated? I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice.
Sorry, that's really exciting right there.
I don't have a choice. I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. I don't think I'll ever feel like I made it. I feel like once you feel like you made it, you stop pushing for better. Yeah. So my mentality is that, yo, until you don't have the ability, it's go time. Come on now. The excuses don't matter. The fact that you don't feel like it don't matter. If you want something out of life, or you want something for your children, ain't nobody gonna come drop it in your lap. You gotta go get it. And, you know, I guess that's what makes an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, and this is no shade to people who are not entrepreneurs, because I've been in that situation the majority of my life, but entrepreneurs don't have a choice. You don't input, you don't get output. And I just look at my life as the same way. You don't input, you don't get output.
That's good. So listen, we gotta do part 2, Terry, man. No, I'm being so serious, man. And you gotta tell me, if we gonna talk out the camera, because we need a coach. We need a coach. We're gonna talk to you about that, because maybe your mentorship, and we'll talk about that, man. Because like, there are so many creators that need that. Because like I said, younger and younger, especially with the branching of TikTok, these creators are younger and younger, and they don't have any mentorship. They don't have anybody guiding them, bro. And like you did, like I said, you gave us a whole tutorial. I mean, not a tutorial, a whole mastermind class on what to do with a brand deal, and people need that, man. So thank you for that.
No problem. I'm glad I could be of a help, man. And these like, hearing that type of stuff is honestly fuel for me. Like, you know, anytime I'm feeling down and I don't feel like it, when somebody be like, yo, you just taught me this. Yeah. And what you said, I be like, for real? And they be like, yeah. I'll be like, for real? And you be like, yeah. I'll be like, you know what? Maybe there is value for people that are listening and watching. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Praise God for, you know, that I was able to help somebody, and I'm just thankful to be here, man. For real. Appreciate it.
So, everyone else here at the Pullspin, we have the staple questions. Yeah. And the staple questions, I feel like, are unique, like it's Snowflake, right? They're always different. But you being from Cleveland, so let me ask you this. Being from Cleveland, you go to these places like you say, you were overseas. You go to these different places. When you tell people from Cleveland, they look at you like crazy.
Like you crazy. You from where?
They can't believe it. You can't.
The mistake on the lake?
So with that being said, and you go to other places, you see the collaborative efforts there. Do you feel, with that being said, how do you feel like you change the narrative that Cleveland's not a collaborative place?
I think as quote unquote leaders, we just have to show versus talking about it. You know, stuff like this, like being on podcast and, you know, Futureland going, you know, people being transparent about the journey is how you empower other people to do the same, right? So whether that medium is a podcast format or boots on the ground going to talk to people, I just feel like the more people open up and stop trying to gatekeep information, because there's enough money and success out there for everybody.
Facts.
Like, you being successful don't hurt me at all. And me being successful don't hurt you at all. Because everybody can be successful. There's enough money for everybody. The moment people actually start to understand that, and they realize how good it feels to help somebody else, like, I think the better off we'll be. So I think the answer is just people got to open up and be transparent. For real.
So when I ask, are you an introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Wow.
Yeah, like, this is making my armpit sweat right
Is
now,
it?
bro. Real talk.
No, time out. I can't believe that, bro. Because I believe to see you on Say That Futureland.
Bro.
You were nervous then?
I wasn't nervous, but all right. So being an introvert means like interactions with people, they drain you, right? And like nothing.
I took like 3 weeks off after Futureland, bro.
For real?
Nothing makes me more uncomfortable with being in an elevator with people I don't know, because you about to try to start a conversation with me and we don't need to do that.
Small talk.
Yeah, I can't, like, no, just hi bye. Like, don't ask me how my day was because I'm never gonna see you again, right? But what I have learned to do is turn it on and off, right? And I guess this is one of the perks of being on camera, because like talking to my camera, I don't have to worry about the social pressure of people are looking at me. Now, I still deal with it when I like go downtown and I film myself, but I've learned to overcome that. But when I'm just talking to my camera, I could be exactly who I want to be. You know what I'm saying? And through repetition, you kind of learn how to turn that on and off. So when that camera come on, or when I need to
skill set,
be around, it's a skill, right? And I exercise it every day, so I'm good at it. But trust me, when I leave here, I'm gonna go to my apartment. I'm gonna sit in the corner of the room, and I'm probably gonna turn the lights on and do this for an hour. I just learned to turn it off.
Yeah,
turn it on and off.
So with that being said, and you have worked with plenty of brands, right?
Yeah.
What are some brands, people, or just corporations you would like to collaborate in the future?
Lamborghini is a huge goal of mine this year. I'm not even playing, and I believe I can do it, so I'm going to do it.
Come on now, Terry, man.
I have never been in. I've always been in like cars and all that stuff, and we just launched a new series on my channel yesterday, where Terry finds his dream car. So the first episode was a Cybertruck. We're now trying to get funding for the next 7 episodes, and ultimately, I want to work with Lamborghini in some type of way. Whether it's being an ambassador, a host, a photographer, something. I'm going to be in the doors of Lamborghini this year.
Lamborghini, I know you watching this.
I promise you.
Hit up Terry, man.
I seen that Cybertruck. You kicked it.
I kicked
Roddy kicked it.
But the reason why I did that is because it's a goal of mine, bro. Like, I love cameras. I love what I get to do. But guess what? I love cars, and I love all that stuff, too. So I said, you know what? This year, I'm about to make it a reality. And it's going to be a whole lot of nights I don't want to, and I feel like it's futile, and I'm never going to get anywhere, but because I believe I could do it, I'm going to push through all that crap, and you mark my words, by the end of this year, you will see me in a Lamborghini. So,
you know what? I think another thing we didn't talk about was mindset.
Yeah.
You know, because you got the right mindset, and you're always pushing forward. You keep them, motivation and good people around you. So I think mindset is also important.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And you also become what you consume. You sit there, you listen to BS all day, you're going to be BS. It's the same principle. You surround yourself with 7 smart people, you're going to be the 8th. So how do I stay motivated? Another thing is I turn on motivational YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff like that to try to, when I am having those down moments or I'm thinking of some trash, to help redirect, because it's mindset. If you want what you want out of life, you got to have the correct mindset. You don't, you won't get it.
Do you have a go-to podcast you listen to?
I don't listen. I mean, no. I just type in a lot of times motivational speeches. A lot of it's spiritual. I listen to a lot of sermons. because no matter what you're doing, the word can help guide you through all of it. You know what I'm saying? So if so a lot of times I just turn on sermons, or I might turn on like money podcast if I'm trying to like figure out how to do this option trade or that stock trade or that Bitcoin sale, or, you know what I'm saying? So it's mindset.
That's good stuff right there. So legacy, brother. Here at the Blue Experience, we like to talk about legacy because a lot of people, entrepreneurs, I don't think we think about that enough.
Yeah.
When it comes to your legacy as an individual, then for your brand as a whole, what do you want the legacy to be?
As an individual, to my knowledge, there hasn't been any successful entrepreneur in my family. So I came to break that mold.
Come on now.
And it's been a learning experience, but so far we here, still here. So there's that. That's a personal legacy, just to be able to like build a successful business that I can hand off to my children, that they can also take a hold of and do whatever not whatever they want with, if they're interested in, I would say.
Right.
Because most of my kids, they see me doing social media because of that. They want to do it.
I was gonna ask you, do you find them on?
Oh, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. Like they will. My daughter Talia, she like, is that the new Osmo? She loved the Osmo Pocket. She always be like, when is the Osmo Pocket 4 coming out? Is that the new one? Or every time I get a package from a brand, oh, is that? So, but you also see them like they love hair and nails and stuff, setting up the phone. Hey, my name is Germany, or hey, my name is Talia, and before we would look at them like, what are you doing? But now, like, that can actually be somebody's career, and they can make crazy money off of it. So, I think my legacy for them is just to be able to, show them that anything is possible.
Come on now.
Right? They already feel like I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I really want to show them that X, Y, and Z is possible.
Yeah.
As long as you keep God first, you believe in yourself, you work hard. For my business, when it comes to legacy, I just want something I can give to them. Like I worked it as much as I could. I got it as far as I can. And when my time is done, here you go.
That's good stuff right there, Terry, man. And with that being said, brother, I feel like all interviews, any interview, there should be takeaways. You've been dropping gems left and right, brother. I've been hitting this thing all night. You know what I'm saying?
Still picking them up.
Still kicking it, right? With that being said, what are the 3 takeaways you believe someone should be watching? And we're talking about new content creators, newbies, or people that need a motivation. What are the 3 takeaways they should get from you tonight, man?
Something you said or haven't said.
Yeah.
God first. Believe in yourself. And I mean, not just say it. You truly believe that I'm capable of doing whatever this thing is I want to do. And 3, work hard.
4, be authentic. You definitely are.
Yeah, I mean, some people say that's a gift and a curse, but I feel good at the end of the day when I share something, whether a brand liked it or not, that I feel like, yo, that person might have backed off from about to commit suicide, or that person may have doubted themselves, and they can see somebody that looked like them from where they from that's actually making something out of it. Like, forget the money, the followers, all that. That's what make me feel good at the end of the day, knowing that the tools and the blessings that God gave me, like I was able to help somebody with that. That feels, it makes me feel better than slamming on the accelerator, than any drink or, anything like that. It makes me feel good in my heart. And it's those three things. Being authentic for me it's a non-negotiable, man, because I wouldn't feel right. And this is no shade to people who choose to run their business a certain way, right? And then I'm gonna shut up because I can talk, bro.
No, you get it, bro.
I said this on a live stream like 2 weeks ago. You got to figure out what you want to do. If your goal is to just build a audience so you can appease brands and get brand deals, and you don't care about having a loyal following, you don't care about community or anything, do it. Who am I to tell you that's wrong? I know people who strictly make content just to get paid from brands. That's like telling somebody business A is stupid and business B is not stupid. If it's working for them, who am I to judge, right? But for me, building an authentic audience means way more. A, people being able to trust me. B, I don't want to be dependent on any brands to make money. When you have a loyal, authentic audience, you can direct sell straight to them.
Wow.
I can sell you digital products, clothing, consultations, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And this year, I'm trying to get it to a point where I'm not so dependent on brand. I mean, it's a blessing for sure, right? But I don't want to be dependent on. I don't make money if I don't satisfy a brand partnership or anything like that. Mm. So for me, authenticity is key because I feel like the only real way you can build a loyal community is by showing the real you. It's the same as this personal relationship, the personal relationship with the other person on the side of that camera works the same exact way.
Yeah. So we gotta do part 2. We might have a coach session with Terry or whatnot, man. But bro, I truly appreciate it. I know this is a long time coming, but it was worth it, bro.
Yeah. It was perfect timing.
Perfect time. It's God's timing.
It's God's timing.
That's what it was, brother.
Tonight happened for a reason.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate you, brother. So that being said, most important question of the whole interview: where can people learn more about you? Where can they follow you? Where can they check out YouTube channel?
YouTube is Terry Terry. Don't spell it with an I. Pisses me off when people do that. Okay, Terry Warfield, Warfield. And then Instagram is Terry_Warfield. TikTok Terry_Warfield. I'm not giving you my email address because y'all gonna try to spam and I don't like that. But no, I mean Terry Warfield pretty much everywhere.
Yes, sir. So listen, as y'all watching this, right there in the show notes is going to be right there. So anytime y'all want to follow, subscribe, it will be right there. Okay. Bro, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Yes,
it's been a great experience.
Absolutely.
Now I'm parched and I need some water.
So real quick, y'all, we gotta pay some bills. Guys, February 16th, we are having the Entrepreneur Dating Game. We are going to be taking entrepreneurs. They need love, y'all. They need love. So we have done the hard work. We have found entrepreneurs. We're gonna put them together. Y'all remember the old dating game? We're gonna have 1 bachelor, 3 bachelorettes, 1 bachelorette, 3 bachelors.
Wow.
And yeah.
Nothing about this.
Oh, don't do. I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
Listen, it's gonna be a good time, y'all. So we'll be at the 4 Bistro, February 16th. Do me a favor, get your tickets now because they are going very fast. And guys, this is the 4th one. So we do this every year, but we have some great sponsors. Shout out to our great sponsors because the winning couple, they can choose from many other dates that they want to go on for free. They get to choose, okay? And listen. I'm saying it now. We're going to pitch this to a network. I don't know what network, but we're going to go back. We're going to film the dates, and we're going to say, hey, that date did not work. And it's going to be something. We're going to bring it back. Remember, what's that, Next or whatnot? What's that dating show? We're going to bring those dating shows back. No more Pop and Bloom. Something different. Right. Steve, what you got?
Hey, if you want to book me, follow me at Alien Eyes Photos and alieneyephotos.com.
Yes, sir. Guys, I'm trying to think what else we got going on. Michelle, Louise, we got. I'm not my bad. I love Michelle. Guys, we will be at Strut and Stuff's Galentine's Day event, right? What's that? February what? February 7th, guys. Do me a favor. We are going to be there doing interviews, so do me a favor. Check that out when that drops. I'm trying to think what else we are.
Podcast 102.
Yes, Podcast 102, y'all. Yes, listen. If y'all missed Podcast 101, I had the honor of being at Creative Space teaching on podcasts where we do best, right? And guess what? Bree and Steve going to be the ones driving this bad boy, teaching y'all how to set up for a podcast, how to film for a podcast, how to do the work that none of us know how to do. And the hard part, this is the hard part, like Terry said, the audio, the visual, the production, the editing, the reels, the things that separate you from the next podcast, they're going to be teaching on that, okay? So do me a favor, stay tuned for that. That's dropping soon. Do me a favor also, as you guys are watching this podcast episode, right in the show links, we have the amazing team we have here at the Full Experience. We have Michelle Louise. I know she's going to kill me when I get done with the episode. She makes sure that she does all the schedules. She has MGM Virtual Services, okay? Do me a favor, check that out. Bree is behind the camera. Bree behind the camera tonight, y'all. And she's doing her thing. If you want great reels, great production for your podcast, do me a favor, check her out. And then also, Brittany's not here tonight, but do me a favor, as you're watching this episode, subscribe to her YouTube channel, Beauty Told. Yes, I got it right this time, Brittany. You would have been proud of me. And then lastly, guys, do me a favor. We are in 2U1 Studios. I can't wait for her to have a grand opening because y'all gonna love it. It is going to be phenomenal. Stay tuned for the grand opening of that. And then lastly, do me a favor. My girl Sam, she's not here also, but Sam is the #1 host in the city, so do me a favor. book her for your next event. She's phenomenal. She's also going to be hosting the Entrepreneur Dating Game also, so stay tuned for that also. So you guys haven't seen her, see her action in person.
That's an average agent. Shout yourself out.
Yeah, do that.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. All right. Listen, guys, if you're looking to buy, sell, or just want to learn more about real estate, one thing I pride myself on is taking the complicatedness that you think comes to getting real estate and making sure you understand it, because I'm trying to close that wealth gap. Most homeowners are 46% wealthier than people who rent. That's the truth. And unfortunately, we as a people, minorities, we only own 12% homes in the United States, which is a side fact. So my job and my mission is to change that. So do me a favor. I don't charge. You got a question, please reach out to me. It's my job is to educate. That's my passion. So I feel like God called me to do. I want to make sure you're finding the best home for you and then you got the best investment, because that's what a home is, the investment. I think got them all, guys. This is episode 272. My man Terry came through and he did his thing. And we have to do part 2, man. Thank you once again. Man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Praise God.
And listen, y'all, we want to lastly thank you guys, because right now we're at 19,500 subscribers.
That's worth it. That's worth the
Come on,
right
man.
Because most people quit before they get to 1,000.
Listen. And you want to talk about termination? He's absolutely right. 3 years in, and that was not an overnight success. That was a gradual thing and whatnot. But it goes to yeah, absolutely. But it goes to show the value of a great team. It shows the great value of great guests like Terry, and it shows once again consistency and determination. We want to thank you, the person watching, you the person listening, because it wouldn't be possible without you.
Absolutely.
So we want to thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.